Hello and welcome to another show. It's May Day as I record this on the 6th of May. May Day should be out there having the wonderful May celebrations, but I can tell you here in the south east of England where I live, it's another torrential rain day, not a May Day. Rain is coming down and it does seem as if this is a deliberate action. We'll be talking about the geoengineering, of course, in other shows. Is your vet trying to kill your pet? Is your vet trying to kill your pet? This does seem to be a lot of stories I've been getting from lots of different people, anecdotal, in which they take their sick pets to the vet and rather than just try and fix them or tell them to take some simple herbal remedies for the animals, they are persuaded to put them down. This does seem to be the case all over the place. Is there a... Now, this is only hearsay, by the way. These are just stories that people are telling me. But is there a concerted effort by the vets to try and destroy your pets? I'd be interested to know your views. And if there is a holistic vet out there, I'd love to get you on the show to talk about what you think might be happening. We do know that pets are under constant threat of being chipped and registered and all of this. We've seen it with chickens. It does seem to me that the government authorities around the world, the one world globalists, would like us to stay in a low vibration. And how better to get you in a low vibration if they are threatening your dearly beloved pets. And that's what a lot of people take comfort. No matter what is going on in the world, if they've got a pet, a cat, a dog, whatever it might be, but all know. And why would the pet get ill? Is it the same reason that people get ill? They eat the non-food food that's being sold at the supermarkets. The supermarkets are selling us food which is below standard, full of synthetics, full of E-numbers, full of preservatives, full of colourings and all of those sort of things that actually very few nutrients in it. And our pet is pet food. In and of itself, some of this mass-produced stuff, it's got a whole load of other nasties in it. Are you able to afford to feed your pet appropriate food? Or are you, again, picking up off-the-shelf stuff that doesn't really have a lot of nutrients in it, and therefore getting the pet's ill, they end up going to the vet, and the vet's going, oh, well, it's got this problem and that problem. I think we better put it down. I'd be interested in your thoughts on that front. On an unrelated subject, but with animals, well, insects actually, it's interesting how the mainstream narrative is still desperately trying to convince us that man-made global warming is a thing. And I was sent this by somebody about bumblebees. This is from the Guardian newspaper, and the headline says, "Bumblebee nests are overheating to fatal levels, a study finds." Oh yes, because haven't we had the hottest few months recently? Bumblebee nests overheating to fatal levels. More frequent heat waves means bees are unable to thermoregulate their lives. Further endangering a species already in decline. And there's a lovely picture of a bumblebee apparently being heated up too much. So the report goes on. Bumblebees' nests have been overheating, killing off broods and placing one of Earth's critical pollinators in decline as temperatures rise, new research has found. I would like to know where. This is certainly not in this country, although later on in the report it does talk about Europe and in this country. I don't see how we've been having very much hot weather recently. We've seen the geoengineering up in the sky. We've seen the chemtrails. We know now that people are going out with organic white vinegar, warming that up and trying to use the vapour to just disperse the evil cloud that has been placed there by evil minds, trying to, of course, create the Great Famine by making the crops non-existent, a washout. Does seem to be the plan at the moment. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. This is just my supposition. Let's go back to this article here. Around the world, many species of bombus or bumblebee have suffered population declines due to global heating, the research said. Bumblebee colonies are known for their ability to thermoregulate, I think that must be what it means, in hot conditions. Worker bees gather to beat their wings and fan the hive, cooling it down. But, and then we get in red letters, look at this, as the climate crisis pushes average temperatures up and generates heat waves, bumblebees will struggle to keep their homes habitable. Yeah, right, okay. Most bumblebee broods would not survive the temperature above 36 degrees, the paper published in Frontiers in Bee Science concluded. You do get the feeling that this is sort of another, a desperate attempt to convince us. But this is how it works. This is how the media and the big cabal work. It's lots and lots and lots, incrementally, bit by bit, convincing you, retelling the story. Man-made global warming. Oh, yeah. And they do this over years and years and years, constantly, so that you're constantly believing the nonsense that man-made global warming, A, is a thing, and B, it's so terrible. But we're getting to a stage now, are we not, where some of these stories are so preposterous and utterly absurd that how thick do they think we are? Now, I appreciate there are thick people out there. There are people who seem to believe everything the mainstream media says, every newspaper article and everything the television tells it you as the programming goes on. You must listen, you must watch. Even though some of it is subliminal, but a lot of it is just in your face, telling you how to think. My advice is, of course, not to be taken, but if you did take it, get rid of your television altogether. Stop watching the mainstream narrative. Be very selective what you watch on the alternative things. Move away from the fear. Do your own thinking. Think, does this make sense? Is it true that we have had continual warming? I mean, you know, let's look at how it absolutely stupid some of the government thinking is. So on their website they do talk about geoengineering. They tell us they are trying to dim the sky because of the sunlight is giving us too much global warming and the gas of life, CO2. But then on the other hand, they're saying, oh, we want everybody to go to electric because electric is one of these free, we can generate electric freely by having solar panels everywhere. And we're having great swathes of solar panels all over the farmland so that farmers are being disincentivized to grow food, which we actually need to live, and have solar panels on massive stretches of their land. But if they're dimming the skies, I mean, how much of a dum-dum do you need to be to see the irony or the stupid thinking that if you're dimming the skies, there's no sun, your solar panels are not getting this so-called free electricity, and if we're all on the electricity as they would like us to be, then we're going to run out, and the grid will run out, and we will still need all the alternatives. I mean, how stupid do we have to be to go along with this? We have not here in the UK had a hot winter. We have not. We're coming into spring. We barely have a sunshine day. We seem to have one sunshine day every 2 weeks. It's almost as if there is a graph somewhere or a schedule going, yep, we're going to give them rain, 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 rain. Oh, we better give them some sunshine just so they don't realise what's going on because they don't look up and see the crisscross lines in the sky. They don't see that because they're so bloody dumb, and then we'll give them 1 day of sunshine, then we'll go back and carry on spraying the skies, and we'll create the great famine by decimating more than decimating, we'll actually obliterate farmland every which way we can so we can starve the buggers to death. That does seem to be the plan, and if you can't see that, you obviously, something maybe you injected into your arm is changing your thinking. I must just listen, I must obey, I must believe what they tell me. It's 1984 all over again, in reality, in the material world. So bumblebees, I don't believe it. But intriguingly, At the bottom of this article that said bumblebees are all, getting too hot, there is this little notice, which is a bit bizarre. And it says, this is The Guardian, mainstream media, left wing. This is what we're up against. It says, teams of lawyers from the rich and powerful trying to stop us publishing stories they don't want you to see. Lobby groups and opaque funding who are determined to undermine facts about climate emergency and established science. And yet they're saying, this is an article they don't want you, that apparently the rich and powerful don't want you to see, that bumblebee nests are overheating to fatal levels. No, this is the narrative they want you to see. This is the narrative they want you to believe. And then they want you to believe that there are people trying to tell you the truth who are liars. It's a very odd situation, is it not? But, my lovely viewers, you know the truth. You've seen through this nonsense. You know this can't continue for very much longer. You know that there is the fall happening, that these frightened now, the shoe is on the other foot. They've run out of time, and they're just throwing all this nonsense at us in the last ditch of hope to get us to believe it all. But of course, it's all a pile of poo, as you and I know. But in the meantime, we've got to deal with it all. So are the vets trying to kill your pets? And have the bumblebees really dying out? Be interested to know. Your thoughts always welcome.